What? What does that mean, Travis?
The fact that these companies don't know how to do the things that we as YouTubers do.
You have this Delulu fire in you of, I'm going to make it happen regardless of whether YouTube is, quote, helping me or not.
Hot fire tip. What's your hot fire tip?
I don't know if I should say this.
Ooh, I like it's already secretive. Hey, welcome back to the only podcast that loves you at least 6 times more than you love us. I'm Travis, and I'm here with an incredibly special guest, one of my favorite of all time, Tina.
Woohoo!
Whoop, whoop. Yes, Tina's from our coaching team here at vidIQ, and she's going to help me out with a couple episodes.
Yes.
Yeah, are you excited?
I'm pumped.
She's super pumped. I love that. Today, we're going to talk about our YouTubers Delusional. Probably some of them are. Can anyone make it on YouTube? And are there different styles of content that just disappear and go away? Kind of like just disappear. That's the thing. But we do that by getting messages from you. If you would like to send us a message, if you love us that much and you just want to talk to us, leave us a comment on one of the YouTube videos. I mean, that's a really easy way to do it. But you can send us an email at theboost@vidiq.com, or if you're listening to the audio only podcast, there is a little logo there at the bottom that says text us. You click on that and send us a text. Which, by the way, I don't know if you know this because I'm going to read one of the texts here in a minute. I a couple months back talked about how I thought it was interesting that people can write really long texts. Like we're going to see here, this is almost like an email, but someone texted it to us, and I was flipped out by that. Does that freak you out at all? It seems like why?
I love it. I love texts that mimic emails. Really? That's my favorite kind of text.
Do you do that? Are you a long texter?
I do when I have the permission to do so, because I do realize people do not like long text.
So you have to ask for permission for, listen, I want to.
Well, actually, no. I do it first, and then if they get wild about it, then I'll cut it down, or I'll do a voice note. Apparently, people prefer voice notes.
I like a good voice note. I like a good voice note, and I leave them because I don't like typing a whole bunch. But I just think it's weird to be typing that much on your phone. Like that just seems weird.
It's easy. Is it? We have to communicate. How else are you going to communicate?
I'm gonna leave you a voice note. I don't know what's going on. All right, let's get to this first one. Like I said before, you can send us a text message if you're listening to audio only podcast. There's, like I said, there's a little button there, and it says text us. And this first one is from Ben. That is a text. Hey, Travis and Jen, or other guests allowed. I'm from England, so I've never heard of candy corn. It sounds pretty grim. By the way, it sucks. It's terrible. But please try Double Decker. I don't know what that is. My favorite chocolate. A thing of real beauty. That sounds amazing. Do you like chocolate?
I love chocolate. Yes.
You're in the right place.
Yes.
My question is regarding pivoting my channel. I have a channel called Life of Lily and Coco. We've done videos of our dogs following our days out, trying to review dog-friendly places, but the videos have not received good traction, getting about 30 to 100 views maximum. Jenna Crew did a live review of the channel, and it got destroyed in the nicest and rightly way possible. Time is also a factor, in having regular days out with dogs is hard. I recently did a headshot style vlog video on 5 reasons to get a Springer Spaniel. And in that style, I got nearly 2,000 views, loads of comments and engagement. I want to do more of this style, as my editing skills are, self-confessed, totally awful. Do you think headshot vlog style videos are here to stay? So I want to talk about this because there's a couple of things that they said that I think really made sense to me. So let's start off where they started off with, Tina. They talked about that they just had a video about different places they could take their dog-friendly places, which is only going to be interest to people that lives near you, right?
Right.
Like if I'm not in your state, what do I care?
Right.
Then she did a vlog style video about reasons to get a Springer Spaniel, which now all of a sudden can talk to a lot of different people. What would you tell this creator if they came to you with this, saying, I want to pivot my channel, but I'm not sure if this is going to work or not? What would you say?
Well, the thing is, you're tapping into a bigger market. So naturally, not to say that therefore it always means you're going to have more views, but you have a potential for more views. And so in terms of a pivot, I was afraid sometimes when you say pivot and your channel's about something totally different, let's say dogs, and then now you want to do a food channel, that's different. But it sounds like perhaps his dog is a spaniel, and he's doing a video on spaniels and reasons to get a spaniel. It's still aligned. It's still within the bigger niche of dogs. There's definitely a lot of potential there vlogs, talking head videos, of course, it's here to stay. Who knows what's going to happen 10 years from now? But people want information. People want authentic information. If you could give that to them, then absolutely, you have a lot of reach.
There's something called TAM, or total addressable market, which I think over the last year or so, you've started to hear it more on YouTube. For people who don't know what that means, that in a very simple way means the amount of total people you can reach based off the topic and kind of videos you do. So for example, what we talked about before, you were talking about dog places that had, in your area that were dog friendly. The total addressable market are the only people that live there and that have dogs. So it's very kind of minute. That doesn't even matter what city you're in. At some point, you're going to hit that cap. But talking about a specific breed of dog, as Tina said, really has a larger total addressable market. A lot more people that can actually be interested in that subject and then watch more of it. So whenever you're creating content, it's not bad to have a small total addressable market. Like sometimes that's really good. If you're hyper focused on something, you can make a lot of money potentially, because manufacturers or companies or brands that are in your particular niche know that, hey, you have a super focused group of people that like your content, and maybe they can activate with you a little bit more. Having said that, keep in mind that maybe you're only talking to 30, 40, 100 people, and that's pretty much going to be it. When you're looking to grow on YouTube, you need to be looking at something that's larger than your niche. So what else? I think if we look at this channel as like a dog channel, and they were talking about a specific breed, I wonder if they could do like a bucket system. So they have their breed, but what would be like another bucket that would make sense for that dog? I would think something like dog toy reviews or something like that, or dog product reviews.
Oh yeah, especially since so here's the thing I learned. I have a Yorkie. Every dog has their own like not kinks, but their own
their own personality, I think is what you're trying to say.
Personality,
yes. I don't know about your dog, but I don't know what your dog's into.
They're into certain things compared to other dogs.
Oh my gosh.
But sometimes it is breed specific or breed group specific. So smaller dogs, they need little toys, right? Yes. So there's some toys that work better as a small toys, and it doesn't work so much as a bigger toy, etc. Or maybe your dog chews a lot. So this is a perfect toy if your dog is chewing a lot or they're getting bored, so they're causing a ruckus while you're gone at work, right? So there's so many different ways. I'm thinking not only reviews, you could package it differently. Now this veers into potential behavioral type of content of, okay, if your dog is doing X, here's how you can make them do Y instead, whether that's direct training or if they're anxious. I have a very anxious dog. And there's just so many different avenues you could go down that either it's breed specific or it could be general, increasing your TAM. There's a much wider potential there for sure.
And then on the side of like making money, reviewing products and or services are pretty easy for affiliates, right? Like you can make affiliate sales, especially if you're reviewing like dog treats or dog toys, and you have an affiliate link for like Amazon or whatever. That's pretty easy money because people are going to look up reviews of things before they go and buy them. I remember hearing something a long time ago back when I forget where I heard this, but it's like people will sacrifice more, will spend less on themselves more than they will on their dogs and stuff. So I know this was the case when I had my dog. My dog was living the life. I mean, whatever he wanted, he could have. Even if he didn't want it, he got it,
Yes.
So yeah, I'm willing to not buy myself something and buy him something instead.
Also, just veering off of that, Travis, you said something really great because I have a creator right now that I'm coaching and he is killing it on shorts with affiliates. Oh, absolutely killing it. Really? And I'm talking about going from nothing, making nothing. And then within the last 8 months, I mean, he's hitting 30K months. Okay. Whoa. So that being said, and this is all mostly with shorts affiliates. And so there is a huge opportunity with not only long form, but shorts is really easy to rank in terms of SEO just because YouTube is pushing it. And they're really trying to push affiliates within shorts as well. And it's very easy for you to tag a lot of affiliate links. So much opportunity there for you as a part of your income stream.
And that's really important because ultimately, if you want to be making videos for life, you got to figure out a way to make money, and you don't want to worry about AdSense because that's such a fluctuating thing. That's not always the most exciting thing to do. All right. Next email. This is an email. It's the boost@vidIQ.com. This one comes from Matthew. Greetings, the vidI crew from the Upside Down. Now, to be clear, I call Australia the Upside Down, just so you know.
Oh,
in case you didn't
okay.
know. All right.
Why?
Because they're upside down from us. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay.
You didn't know that?
What? What does that mean? What does that mean, Travis? You're saying it like a matter of a fact.
It is. No one know. You don't know this? They're upside down from us. You didn't know that?
They're upside down.
Did you know that their toilets spin the opposite way of ours?
Oh, yes, I knew that.
Well, they're upside down from us because, we're on one side of the globe, they're on the other.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So they're standing upside down from us right now. Okay. I love how Tina's like, wait, is this what's happening right now? Welcome to the podcast. Yeah. All right. I'm the person who wasn't Martha Stewart, LOL Travis. I'm not really sure what that means, but who wrote back in November 2024, talking about having lost a day's worth of recording. Oh, those are the worst.
Yeah.
Those are the worst. You're like, you see that recording. You have?
Oh yeah. Recording a whole session that I saw that, it's not recording anymore. Especially those Canons that have, if you don't fix the setting of automatically turning off after 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's brutal. I now have 500 subs, 5,300 watch hours of content in the last year, 3 videos in the last 90 days, and officially been added to the YPP. All right, let's get it. Congrats. I'm trying to work out what to do next. I love that how YouTube never stops. Like, I did this thing I was trying to do. Now what's next? Well, the channel, The Gaming Facility, is also the first channel to come up when I search for that term on YouTube. I designed a logo, channel banner, formulated branding for merch through a storefront. I'm also looking at buying a better $400 microphone instead of my headset. Now, let me stop reading the email here for a second. First of all, getting a good microphone is great. I don't think you need to go $400. Unless you're doing very audio specific content where people are going to criticize you over it. I don't know if you need a $400 headphone or a microphone.
Nice to have,
but I don't feel like that's a necessity. I'm wondering how to progress in these areas as I'm kind of winging it. By the way, a lot of people winging it. That's YouTube. I'm also trying to navigate sponsorships. I have 100K views on my channel and a small but growing active community supporting me, but I can't get past the I'm not big enough to get sponsored thought process. That's interesting. Any thoughts or advice on anything I've mentioned would be great. I think, so a couple of months ago, we had an incredible guest, Justin Moore, talk about all of this as far as like getting sponsorship and stuff. I highly, highly, highly recommend you go back and watch that. But let's talk about the mindset here that this person's talking about. So they finally started getting some momentum. They're feeling good. They want to kind of grow things, but they also are having this, I'm still a small YouTuber. What's the next step? What would you say what would you focus on as their coach if they came to you with like this situation?
Well, only because it sounds like they want a sponsorship and that's the direction they want to go in. I would definitely want to look into, well, let's just get our first sponsorship, because oftentimes sponsorships, they want a history of you sponsoring a channel. So you have that history, you could give them those metrics. So just the first one will, get over that mindset of, okay, I'm not good enough or big enough for a sponsorship. And 2, you could get a sponsorship at any stage. Any stage. I've had creators get sponsorships at 1,000 subscribers and maybe views that are 300, but they're really niche, for example. And that's where, depending on your market, etc. But there's a lot of opportunity there. Get your first one and then just go from there. We could always scale up. We could always ask for more. But that's where I would start.
Yeah. And Justin talked a lot about the fact that these companies don't know how to do the things that we as YouTubers do. They don't know how to produce a video, edit a video, shoot a video, upload a video. They just want to market their product or their service, right? And if you can help them do that, then it's easy to approach them with hey, I have, a viewership that is in the age group that you're interested in, which, by the way, that those metrics are available to you in your statistics, right? In your analytics backend. And even I think YouTube still does the media kit thing where it does an automatic media kit for you. So you can send that along. It tells, advertisers what type of things your viewers are into as far as buying and selling stuff or buying stuff. And I feel like if you take an opportunity to review a person's product or service that you want to be associated with and lead with that and say, hey, look, I reviewed one of your products. I really love your line. I really would love to work together with you. Is there something we can do? You'd be surprised at who will say yes. And brings up a great point. There are channels out there with 1,000 subscribers that are literally getting money from companies to do things. Because again, those companies don't know how to do what we do. And it's so easy to forget how many jobs a YouTuber does. They're a writer, they're a producer, they're a director, they're an editor, they're the talent, they're marketing, they're SEO, they're all of these things in one. And you'd be surprised at how much individually those people would make.
Oh yeah, each of those are a full-time job at a corporate company, so that makes a lot of sense. I will also say I have a lot of friends who, whether outside of YouTube and they have a certain amount of follower count, and they will reach out constantly. I think a part of it is being okay with people saying no, and that's okay. But if you reach out to 20, or I would say, I like to say 100, because nice, good number, right? Somebody's bound to say yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
And the no thing is I'm glad you brought that up, because definitely get used to and be okay with no's in your creation journey, even if it isn't about sponsorships. It could be collabs with another creator. It could be the big no from the algorithm, like this is not getting any views. Like that's the worst no, right?
Right.
Be any of those things. But that's the kind of the point. A lot of YouTube channels, I would say most, get 80% of their views from 20% of their content. So you get a whole bunch of views from just a couple of your videos. And most of the stuff you put out there, perform okay, but not the best. Not going to kill it, not going to crush it, not going to get you in front of things. But you'd be surprised at what that 20%, the doors that can open. I mean, personally, it's opened up tons of sponsorship deals and being on TV and all the other things. And it can totally
Travis.
I know, listen. I'm kind of big time.
Whoa.
I'm big time. I've been around the block.
Yes, you have. Apparently. Okay.
I think the funniest thing it did for me was I used to work at Amazon corporate for 7 years before I worked here at vidIQ. And what I remember, I left. They say you don't leave a job, you leave a manager, which I agree with. I think that's a very true thing. And after I left, I was like, I'm taking a big risk in doing this vidIQ job. Like it's something that I can feel in my soul that I want to do, but I don't know if it's going to work. Within a year or so, not even 2 years, I got reached out to by Amazon. Now I want to be clear. Amazon's a big company. So the people that reached out to me had no idea that I'd worked there. And they wanted me to test out which was new at the time, their influencer network thing where you can stream on Amazon. So I was within the first group of people that were ever invited to that. So I'm like, I'm going to do that. Then after doing it and kind of crushing it, they asked to use me in their advertisements. So Amazon was putting me to advertise their product at a company that I used to work at. I used to be the cog. Now I'm not the cog. I was on the front. I was doing everything. I was on the front page of Amazon. And it's times like that when you really believe in yourself that you can accomplish so much. It sounds so cliche. But if you really, really have the passion and really, really put some time into it, you can do some really amazing things. Really
right. And you know what? Between then and getting to that point, you probably had a lot of doubts.
Oh, I do today. What are you talking about? I had doubts today.
No, but that's amazing. Oh, I didn't even know. This is wonderful.
Yeah, I'm kind of special. All right, let's get to the next.
Okay, Travis.
All right, listen, you're going to shine me up. I'm going to shine myself up. All right.
Okay.
Let's get to this next one. I think this is a really cool one because I feel like every once in a while we get an email or something that makes me want to do a real hot take. And I like giving brutal truths. And I think we're going to get here. Let's do this first one. This next one. This is a text message. Hey, Travis and Jen, I do not understand why anyone in the right mind could possibly eat candy corn. I agree with this. You're a psychopath if you eat candy corn and enjoy. But Cadbury eggs are one of God's greatest blessings to us as you are right. Whoever wrote this text message, you're a genius. Absolute genius. appalled that this would even be a debate. I totally agree with this. And Tina agrees with me too, right? You absolutely,
What? No.
You don't even know what's happening.
I'll side on Jen's side.
No, you don't want that. You don't want that. All right. Also, I've always had an idea in my mind that if you're really dedicated to becoming a YouTuber and work at it for years, you will always succeed eventually as long as you never give up. I would think that's because practice makes perfect, and the longer you spend working on something, the better you get at it. Is this true or just false hope? Here's where I like encouraging creators, but more than that, I like the truth. Yes. I like facts. Mm-hmm. And the answer to this is no. It is not true that just because you keep working at this, that it will work. You will succeed.
Why is that, Travis?
Because some of y'all are not good at this. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. No, I'm just playing. Everyone, the Savage came out for a second. What it is. So it's hard to explain. Some of it I will thoroughly say that sometimes YouTube algorithm doesn't help us. It's there to do its thing, but there's so many videos at the same over 500 hours are uploaded every minute. Actually, substantially more now. That was an old statistic. So it's very possible that your thing just gets lost in the shuffle. Totally possible. However, there are a lot of people that come to the platform to think this is just easy. They just watch a video and go, I can do that, and don't really learn anything else about the process of doing the thing. And it'll be things like thumbnails or titles or even the topic, or sometimes you just won't get to the point in the video. And just by doing more videos, doing more of the same, doesn't mean you're necessarily going to get better at it. I think people that listen to this podcast and use tools like vidIQ and actually pay attention to what they're doing and try to improve, those people have a much better chance of succeeding. But people just for doing the same thing over and over and over again, we have literally seen on this channel people who've been uploading for years that have 500 subscribers. And I think most people listening to this would think, if I am uploading for like 5 or 6 years and I have 500 subscribers, I failed. And failure is a weird word because that really depends on what your goal was in the first place. If it was just to share your passion online, you've succeeded. If it's to be a big YouTuber, yeah, sure, you failed. What do you think is the realistic thing we can say to people about this?
The thing I think about is my old coach used to say, perfect practice makes perfect. But
your coach was really something else, let me tell you.
But what that really means is that it only is perfect if you practice perfectly, which you won't, which means that you have to try to be quote perfection, right? And really what that means is that there's a skill gap. And are you willing to be honest about where your skill gaps are, whether it's in editing, shooting, you being charismatic on camera, if you're on camera, whatever that scripting, right? And then are you going to work on those skills in order to close in that skill gap? I think that's what it comes down to. And sometimes some people really, they really hate editing. Well, I'm in that camp, but
yeah, I'm not so excited about it either, to be honest.
But can you do it? And that's also the other thing where I feel like a lot of creators will get burnt out because maybe you really passionately hate editing, but because you're a one-person show right now, you have to do it. And sometimes it's more so, how long can I do this before I completely burn out? And then you have to be honest with yourself. Are you going to burn out in 6 months? And is that your timeline to hit X goal, whatever that goal is, like 10K subscribers, 100K subscribers, whatever it is, before you decide, let me hire somebody out? And then are you editing in a way that you can hire somebody out, right? But that's a whole different story. We don't need to go that deep. But skill gaps is what it comes down to.
That's so well done. Let's talk a little bit about you. I don't want to go too deep into like, your old channel, but you've had a lot of success when you were on YouTube before you came to vidIQ. What type of obstacles were you able to overcome, and the doubts maybe you even had? Like, what were those things like, and how did you overcome them?
I think the first thing was just finding time to record in the first place. As simple as that sounds, because I had an extremely demanding job at the time where I was working every single day, general 12 to 14 hours a day, and I was recording videos. And then I had to edit, et cetera, et cetera. But of course I had doubts. I think it's actually easier to have less doubt when you're smaller and it's exciting at first. I had more doubts when I was in the growth stage and something took off. And I think to myself, can I do that again? That's when I had the most doubts.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it was almost like not imposter syndrome, but like, oh my God, I just did something big. Can I even do that again?
Yes. And I do see that within our creators, that's where they struggle with the most. They have something that was a breakout video, 100x, 20x, whatever that is. And then they think to themselves, okay, how can I, they almost get more anxious and more nervous because they really want to hit that thing once again, and they feel like if the next video doesn't do it, their whole channel has failed. But that's simply not true. And just like Travis, you mentioned that uh, it's going to take a while, and it's only those 20% that carries the channel. 100% true. You just need those hits, and then be okay with the other videos not hitting, but you getting better in your skill set every single time. Eventually, you'll get another hit if that's your path.
Let me ask you a question and see how you answer, because I think every YouTuber will answer this differently. Did you ever have a moment where you felt like a successful YouTuber? Was there a moment or even a length of time? Or did you always feel like, what's the next thing? Be honest.
So, okay. I felt good when I got my silver plaque.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna lie.
As you should.
I felt good about that. And then I think success was when because I use my YouTube to get clients.
Right.
Success is when I had my highest paying, and even though this is a little bit more business oriented, when I had people come in and I would get on a call with them and they would not ask me any questions. They would just say, hey, I'm glad that you're a real person. Let's get started.
I love it.
Because they doubt you if you're on YouTube, right? And that's all it took. When with my consulting before, it would have taken a 30-minute sales closing call, and it takes less than 1 minute, and boom, they're my clients. So I think that's when I felt the most successful. It's because of YouTube, right? Because they already went through so many of my videos that they thought, oh, I already know I want to work with her. I just want to make sure she's not AI or something.
Yeah, Tina's not AI. Yeah, it's weird because YouTube does pre-vet you to people. It can be, pros or cons to that. Like if you're a butthead online, then you might not get the job you wanted. I mean, you might be missing jobs. But it can though, and it's not even like the parasocial relationship, which you hear so many people talk about. It's more about when someone connects with you through your content for whatever reason, whether it be that it's similar to something that they already like, or they like the way you explain it, or the passion you show, or whatever. They already feel like they know you a little bit before that. If there's ever a conversation between, you and the other person, like, especially if you have a funnel, like you were saying, that part's done. They've already had that in their mind, which is kind of funny to say, but it's true. And they're like, okay, you're real. Let's rock. I've seen everything else you've done. Let's make this happen.
Wait, Travis, well, same question to you. When did you feel I'm successful on YouTube?
There was a time when minimally I was getting 25,000 views per video, like it was minimal. And I was like, I'm rocking it. I got this.
Yeah.
But that doesn't always last.
Oh, don't I know it? Yes.
I mean, it was a good period of time too. I felt like, I figured the YouTube out. Yeah. So then I think there's just both sides around that are surrounded by, do I really know what I'm doing? It's that there's this middle part, which is like, I got it. And the before and after it, we're like, I don't think you know what you're doing. I don't know how this happened,
Right.
Let's be real about it. Let's just be real about it. That's what we do here. All right. One more email. This one is from the boost at vidIQ.com. It is Eduardo. I enjoy making videos. I look at my channel and I think it looks cute. First of all, I've never heard anyone talk about the YouTube channel as being cute. Is your channel cute, Tina? I mean, was it cute?
Actually, I think my channel is cute.
Oh my gosh.
I genuinely think my
What is happening? What is wrong with me? I'm surrounded by people who think their channels are cute. Okay, let me finish this. I like my thumbnails, my title, and my niche. Now, to be honest, you should like all these things. So I feel like this is just normal, but okay. I'm not doing this for money, but I do want to build a community to mean something and feel like I exist out there in the world. Now, I celebrate this. That sentence, I celebrate, because I feel like you will find a lot more success in chasing that than other things.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And the self-fulfillment on another level. But then I see my videos getting basically 0 views and no comments, and I catch myself wondering, how delusional do I have to be to keep going? I need to be delusional, because if not, I look at this with common sense, and what I see is putting myself out there to be made fun of for my trash videos. I know my videos are bad. I've made 10 so far. Nobody cares. No comments. So talking to a wall pretty much. And I see others in my niche doing way better for way longer time. Somehow I managed to convince myself, aka get delusional, to get up and record a video. That's how I see it. So what do you guys think? Do you think being a small YouTuber requires a bit of being delusional? And if so, how can we be more delusional to keep the motivation up? And Water, I like you a lot. I like you a lot, or Water. What an email. That's email of the week right there.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Delulu is the Salulu.
Oh my goodness. Look at you. What was that?
Words of wisdom from TikTok.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, so he says something interesting that flashed me back to a very early part of my YouTube journey, which was, basically talking into the void. I'm talking to a wall pretty much. And I remember when I first started, I'm looking at the camera and I'm talking, and it's weird to have at first, it's not anymore. Like, I'm totally used to it now. It's weird talking to an inanimate object and there's no one else in the room, and you're supposed to be having like a conversation with them. It's just so weird at first. It's strange. And it takes a while to get used to. So Eduardo's saying, is that delusional? I don't know if that's the right word, but I understand what he's saying. I get what he's saying. To a certain degree, you're not wrong. Maybe you're more of a sociopath than being delusional. I mean, I don't know. Like, what do you think, Tina?
Well, first of all, he said 10 videos.
Yeah.
I just thought, okay, 10 videos.
Yeah.
Let's do 100 first, and then talk about whether it's delusional or not. Yeah. Very 10 fair. Videos. I'm just stuck on that, I guess. So, like, of course, 10 videos. Let me just say, though, delusional, absolutely. I will say the first 100 subscribers I've gotten, I've farmed that 100 subscribers. And when I say I farmed it, I was fully delusional enough to tell every stranger I met, which was probably annoying, every conference stranger, grocery store, I'm like, hey, you should subscribe to my YouTube channel. I told all my family, I told all my friends, hey, remember to comment, remember to like, to get me out there. And of course, they were not my ideal viewer, not all of them necessarily. Right, but that being said, I think there is something to that, where you have this delulu fire in you of, I'm going to make it happen regardless of whether YouTube is, quote, helping me or not.
I love that.
I like that fire. And then the skill gap. We got to go back to the skill gap thing. But I think that is what it takes. First 10 videos, 20, 30, 40 videos. Absolutely. What about you, Travis?
I think you're right. Like, because you are talking to no one at first. And you have to, I remember very distinctly also, now that we're talking about this, I'm getting some flashbacks to my early days. And I remember very distinctly when I was setting up my camera and stuff in my living room, because that's where I used to shoot, thinking, all right, I'm doing this for a lot of people. Like, wait, I've got to put this light on because all these people are going to care. Like, I remember just thinking, I was deluding myself, really, thinking that these videos were going to be seen by thousands of people. Eventually they did. They were seen by thousands. But at the time I had like 20 subscribers. Ain't no one going to watch this. But I did in the moment. I was walking the walk of a, quote, bigger YouTuber. And looking back, like, did that help me? Maybe. It certainly helped me look at my content in a way, maybe a little more critically, so that I could make changes faster when I would find things that weren't working. Because if you hold yourself accountable and hold yourself to a higher standard, there's more likelihood of you correcting things that need to be corrected, instead of being Delulu all the time, whatever that is. We need hashtag Delulu. Get these shirts out there. I think to a certain degree, it is kind of silly that, when you are successful, the people are just tuning in to watch you make videos about whatever it is you're making videos about. If you step back from it and think about what life is, that's kind of funny that you can do that and get paid for it. So if that's kind of delusional to even think that that's an actual reality, you might as well just dilute it all the way and just jump into the delusional deep side of the pool.
Yes.
And swim
in. It's great out here. Yes. It's wonderful.
It's a heated delusional pool of diluted mess.
Yes.
But yeah, I think with all that being said, what, You do talk to a lot of creators every week because you're one of the YouTube
Mm-hmm.
coaches here at vidIQ. Have you seen anything of interest people might be interested in that's happening over the course of the last couple of weeks or months? Trends in the community of creators that you work with that they're either struggling with, or you think more people might be struggling with, or something that you've learned that's like, oh, this is a hot fire tip that we can give to our listeners. I love to give our listeners latest hot fire.
Hot fire tip.
Hot fire tip. What's your hot
Oh,
fire tip?
I don't know if I should say this.
Oh, I like it's already secretive. The hot fire tip from Tina.
Okay, so this is something that takes a little bit of time.
Okay.
So but worth it. I'm a big fan of making a short, looking at the audience retention, making edits based off of this, might be even reshooting some stuff really quickly, and then reposting it and have that same exact video get views. Now, it's a little bit harder to do on YouTube, so I'm going to suggest something wild and crazy. Open up a TikTok account because they don't ding you for posting 10 times a day. Post it in there, get the analytics, optimize repost, maybe do it 3 times in one single video. And then when it's optimized, so the audience retention is looking a little bit more like this, then post it on YouTube. And you'd be surprised how many creators I've suggested to do this. They've done it, and their shorts are doing 10x, 100x better because of just this one methodology.
Yep. John talked about this, Rob, right before he left vidIQ.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this is not a hot tip.
Yeah, no, John's been doing it for a while, but he's a ridiculous scientist. But I mean, a lot of people haven't heard that before. He told us in the group, I don't know how many people he told. I don't even know if he told any people on the podcast or not. It's actually really good. So hearing it from your side too, the fact that you didn't hear from John and you're repeating it because it does work on, separate from what he said, I think is more proof that it's just optimizing for the things that work for that. And I think you can do almost the same thing with long form, except for where else would you post a long form? I say the same thing I have been saying for years, that if you're going to remake a video, so for example, if you have like the top 10 tools of 2024 and you're about to do it for 2025, you go back to the 2024 one and you do exactly what you were talking about. Look at the dips and things, figure out where you can tighten things up, maybe more B-roll, maybe less B-roll. And then when you're making the new video, shoot it with that in mind and edit it with that in mind. Look at, you have the literal blueprint of your previous video to kind of help forward you to make a successful second video. So same exact idea, except for not re-uploading. This is like a newer video. Same idea though, and it does work. So thank you for that. Hot Tina tip of the week. So well done. I think all of y'all love Tina here. I think we're gonna have her back for another episode. What do you think about that?
Say that you love me, even if you don't.
In the comments. Say we love Tina.
I don't get fired.
That's right. We don't want that. We don't want that. We'll have her back for another episode. Thank you so much for joining me, Tina. I greatly appreciate it. You've done a fantastic job giving us a lot of information about your dog. I don't know what that was about. And some other things that I think were absolutely fabulous. So thank you so much. And if you are interested in having Tina coach you, there is opportunities for that. There's a link for coaching in the show notes for the audio podcast and in the YouTube description. And maybe she can give you some more hot Tina tips. Get your channel to the next level. Thank you for joining us. We'll see y'all in the next one.